Everyone, welcome to Figure Friday, session 33. I see dozens of you that usually join us on Fridays. Again, like always, if you have any question or anything you want to mention or speak up at any point, feel free to write in the comment section, whether you're on YouTube or LinkedIn or X. We should be able to see the comments and answer you. And today we're going to go over the week 32 and the data set that we have for Figure Friday and the apps that were submitted by the community. Now, Mike, would you like to start with your app, or should I go over the other apps first?
Either way is fine for me, Adam. It doesn't matter.
Okay, so let's start with, I can start. Let me go back to the screen. And here we have week 32, Figure Friday. Mike, can you see this, or is it too small?
I can see it. It is a little bit small, but it's not that bad. That's better.
Okay, perfect. A little bit bigger. Okay. So this data set that we published last Friday and the community members made apps on is a data set about border crossing. Not necessarily of people. There are some people, but more of products, trucks. I mean, there are pedestrians, vehicles that are passing in and out of the border between U.S. and Mexico and U.S. and Canada. We have an example figure here of the traffic, I guess, on the southern border. Oops, there we go. And then the traffic in the northern border. But this was just an example figure. I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller. Let's get out of this. Okay, and then we have an example Plotly Studio image that I posted here. I fitted the data set, and it gave us pretty interesting graphs over time and the port traffic comparison. And like always, we had several apps made by community members on top of this data set. And this is you, Mike. We'll come back to you. I had a nice conversation with Muhammad that we're emailing each other right now. And then we had Mike again. I highlighted you. Muhammad again was talking about cleaning the data set and better understanding, which is very important, right? Before you create an app, when you clean the data set, Mike, you mentioned you've done that before. Well, you always do that. And you better understand what the columns are telling you and what each value means, then you will naturally make a better data app and a better and more relevant graphs. So Muhammad was spending a lot of time on that. These are just the community talking to each other, trying to help each other out. Mike made another app with Plotly Studio. Matt, my colleague at Plotly, jumped in here with the roadmap. I want to show everybody here. This is a link, agree and close, that we have to show the community things that we want to work on for Plotly Studio, things that are in progress, things that have been released, and you can always submit an idea. It's a great way to get your idea potentially into the roadmap for the development of Plotly Studio. And then we have Alex here. Let's see if we can click on this to see Alex's app. Mike gave a lot of feedback here. Mike forgot his last name, Finco. Right now he's in Europe. He get a lot of feedback. And I was talking to Danny. Oh, Danny and Esther. These are the last two apps that we have, I think. Yeah. So the last two apps are Danny and Esther. Mike, I really like Danny's graphs, and I told him your graphs
me too.
Pretty unique, and I really want to interact with them. Can you put them on the cloud? Because these are Dash apps, simple, straightforward Dash apps, usually with a couple of graphs. And I did message him, and he said that yes, that right now he has his own like GitHub. Maybe he put it in the GitHub right here, where he puts every week. This is still loading. Try to load it again. Every week, you see, this is Danny's. Let me turn off my phone. Okay. Every week you see here, Mike, he puts figure Friday 25, 26, the code that he built in most weeks that he participated in. So he told me in the messenger that he's planning to upload some of these, at least the future ones, to the cloud, so we can actually interact with it because these are really cool graphs. Did you see these?
Oh yeah, those are fantastic.
Yeah. Where is it? Value, seasonal traffic patterns.
Obviously, he's picking up on that, and you've seen that, Adam, right? The seasonality factor, predominant on the northern border more than the southern border, but you can see the peaks in like July and August.
But so when but see here, I see the peaks in January and February.
Oh.
Maybe these are different. Seasonal traffic pattern visualization. How monthly traffic patterns evolve over the years. Oh, okay. So okay. So this is a specific year. This is 2020. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe that's a COVID-related thing, right?
Yeah.
Where
yeah. I think so.
Good months, and then the rest of the year are in the tank.
Exactly. It's exactly what you said, Mike. Because COVID hit really in March. See how it drops. So January, February, we could say these are normal, and then the rest of the ones are very, very low because it was the COVID year in 2020. So probably this regained and became the pattern that you're talking about in 2022, 2023, and before 2020, where all the summer is high and then the winters are pretty low. So it's the inverse here.
It's interesting how you can misinterpret something on a first glance, and then you realize, oh, that's 2020. Oh, that makes sense. But
yeah, that's 2020. Oh, I see Alex here. Hey, Alex, welcome.
Hello. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes.
We hear you. Oh. We can hear you.
Loud and clear.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Fine, very fine. And you?
Good. Thank you.
I have seen that you are trying to upload my app in Plotly Cloud, and it's not going to be possible. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think I clicked on it here, Alex, but it's not loading.
It's not loading. It's the thing that I told.
It worked, yes. A couple of days ago. Did anything change? Did you try and redeploy or change something?
No. I upload and I left the way I upload. I had changed anything, and in fact, from the very beginning, I have facing this problem. I don't know why. That's the reason why I exactly did the prompt and use Plotly Studio. But basically, well, if you wanna later on, if you want, I can share my screen and exactly say what happened here, what was my thinking about this app.
Yeah.
But I don't know exactly. I don't know what happened. Well, I see later. You will see. I see that the way that Plotly Studio in the code, they use to make the PCA and the clusters is different. They don't use scikit-learn library. If not, they use NumPy. So I don't know. Is this the reason why? I don't know.
Okay, we'll take a look. We'll take a look at yours.
Okay. Later on. Mm-hmm.
This is another one of Danny's cross-border traffic comparison by year. This is 2006. We can see personal vehicle passengers. U.S.-Mexico border is a lot higher. What's the value here? I can't see the value. It was much higher than the Canada-U.S. border. And generally speaking, most of the things are higher in the Mexican border. Look at this one, pedestrians. There's almost no pedestrians crossing
from
Canada and the U.S.,
mm-hmm.
but much more between Mexico and U.S. And here, this looks like the only one where it's higher, the trucks. There's more trucks passing between U.S.-Canada border than Mexico-Canada. Interesting.
You know, I can comment on that, and having been across the Mexican border twice in the last 3 months.
Yeah.
In Mexico, they have cities that are clustered right on the border. And so whereas a lot of people, they might not want to drive their car in, or they don't have the insurance, you can park your car on the border south of San Diego, and you can just like walk to Tijuana or take a bus for like $1. And so foot is a very popular way to go.
Oh, okay.
Tijuana or Lake Juarez outside El Paso, places like that. It's very clustered. You don't think of that so much in Canada. Montreal's like 30 miles north of New York State. Vancouver is similar north of Washington State.
Okay, that explains it. Yep, that explains it.
That's my thought anyway.
Okay, so this is a Plotly Studio, no, I think a Dash app on Plotly Cloud called borders.plotly.app. And this app is built by Esther in Hungary. And she made two graphs, a map legend. Okay, the magenta color is Canada, yes. And then the south is Mexico, obviously. And what's cool about her app, beyond the fact that you hover over this and it will change the bar chart, it will give us a summary of cards. The top port, San Ysidro. Which one would it be, San Ysidro? This one. What is it, like?
That's the Tijuana, San Diego. That's the really busy one.
That's like 460.
I think it's the busiest port in the United States.
It's what, the United States?
I believe it's the busiest port in the United States. Maybe wrong on that, but San Diego, yeah, it's the Tijuana San Diego crossing.
And it's less about products and trucks. It's more about pedestrians, personal vehicles, and personal vehicle passengers, like you said, Mike, where 766 million vehicles passed back and forth. Wow.
I mean, if you talk to anybody who's waited like an hour and a half in line to cross that border, and it's a madhouse. But
wow,
and people coming to see a baseball game.
Yeah, baseball, football, soccer up here, but
no soccer.
She has a total crossing 11,674,213,000 personal vehicle passengers. Top measures of vehicle. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, and then we can just hover here if we want, and we can see the Buffalo Niagara Falls, also very big. Detroit. Most of these are passengers, but I'm assuming if we go to the ones where there's not a lot of population, we'll see probably more trucks. Here's 5 million passengers in Portal. I wonder where all the trucks come by. Truck container. This is pretty. This is 8 million. So that's a lot. The Sweetgrass. Well, that's a nice border name. I want to go to that port.
Interestingly,
Buffalo and Detroit, I can tell you one other thing that makes those ports busy is that's a good shortcut. I once drove from Albany to Detroit, and the fastest route is to go cross into Canada for Buffalo and then back out to Detroit. Otherwise, you're going south, around the south shore of Lake Erie. It's a heavy. Anybody going from, say, like New England or upstate New York, driving to Detroit or Chicago, is going to cut through both of those ports.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I think that's unique. I don't know that.
Yeah. Let me see here. We can focus on these. Okay. So these are all the borders and the numbers. Perfect. And then we obviously have the measure here. We can change to like buses or stuff like that and see other things. Just focus on one thing instead of all. Great. Esther, beautiful app. Thank you for that. And then we have Alex and Mike. Mike, we said we'll go to you at the end. So Alex, would you like to show us what you have?
Okay. Can I share screen?
Yeah, let me remove
Perfect.
my screen. Okay. Alex, you're going to share your app on the computer or the...
Excellent. Can you see it?
1 second. Okay, yeah, we see it.
Perfect. Okay. That's the app that I was trying to do it in Plotly Studio. Well, okay. Well, basically here, what I try to do was look for hidden patterns in this border crossing. What I did was basically take the measure and build some PCA clustering.
Okay.
Based on the PCA clustering, that here I show you later, PCA clustering, we did 3 analysis type. In this case, seasonal analysis. I have seasonal analysis here, volume. That is the one that I'm going to show you right now. And basically, with this PCA, made some clusters. This one is clusters, and what are the characteristics of these clusters? Here we have 3 clusters in all boards, and the analyzing type is the volume analysis. Here is an info regarding what understanding the analysis types. The volume analysis is the analysis groups pores that these analysis groups pores based on their total traffic volume.
Okay.
For each measure. Okay. And the other one is growth analysis. That is a percentage change, basically. This analysis group pores based on their average annual growth rate and is ideal for identifying ports with accelerated or declining growth. And the seasonal analysis is this analysis group pores based on the seasonal variability of the traffic. It uses seasonality coefficient, standard deviation divided by mean to identify ports, basically. Well, here, basically, the total of here the card says the total of ports, the total number of ports in all borders, and the silhouette score, that is very important, and the PCA variance. The PCA score basically what tell us is exactly what it was. We can see here this PCA basically to see exactly how the ports are distributed.
Okay.
And basically here we can see with this number is, while this number is higher, close to 1, is better, and the difference between each cluster is more clear, exactly.
Okay.
And in this case is 0.76.
Okay.
0.76, and basically the variance is basically closer to 1, and also these are good variance because they can catch every difference among all the measure. Okay. Then here we have, if I click one of these port here, the time series port here, we can see that all the trends. And what is this important? Well, because basically, if we use clusters, if we can move cluster up and down, whatever you want, and you can see the silhouette score, and you can see the port variance, and also you look at maybe one port, you click on, and you will see the time series and exactly, for instance, in this case, cluster number 1, what is the most higher value? Personal vehicle and personal vehicle passenger and pedestrian. This is why here you can select here exactly what to see. Basically, the idea is exactly to look for what is this is a hidden pattern. What is the difference? Why is the difference? And also here, let's say we have 3. Here we can change the analysis, growth analysis. We'll see right now that the growth analysis only, these are the numbers that are higher than the rest of the number. And look at how dynamically the cluster change.
Look at the outlier on the top right, number 2.
Exactly. That's the end. I make it here, and you see it in personal vehicle passenger, here date, and you will see here exactly how it is.
Oh.
That's the idea. That's the idea of hidden pattern and digging, exactly, my analysis digging in that point that may be weird or maybe I don't know, take into account different, exactly. Thank you, Aaron. And also here the seasonality, the seasonal analysis, the seasonality that is based on here. Let's say update, and again you will see how it changes.
The clusters are a lot clearer.
Exactly, and this is the idea. The idea is exactly that the dynamic cluster, and also you can play around with the number of clusters, and you will see that it's calculating the number of clusters again. And we have 5 clusters, and here you will see the silhouette score is lower, but also it's an idea you can play around to see whatever you want to.
Alex,
but
what's the ideal silhouette score for you to say, okay, this is a strong evidence, like over 70 or over 80?
Normally more than 0.7. You can see exactly, and the idea is to exactly make a PCA a graph exactly to see what is if they are different or not. Maybe 2D or 3D.
Okay. Do you mind going back to the seasonal, but 3 clusters instead of 5?
3.
Yeah. Okay, and then 3. Can you click on one of the wait, let it update. 1 second. Yeah, one of the yellow ones. No, one of the yellow ones. Yeah, one of the markers. Okay.
Okay, chicken. Okay.
And then I want to go down and see the time
series. The cluster number 2. That's the cluster number 2, and you can see here. Okay.
Let me see the time series.
Okay.
Okay, so that's around 1 time series. So selected port. It's loading. It's around 1,000.
Personal vehicle.
Yeah. Now, can we click on another yellow marker very close to that one in the same cluster?
Here, Ketchikan is the one. Willow Creek, this one.
Yeah.
For instance.
Okay. Yeah. Let's click on a different one.
Okay.
And then look at the time series.
Okay. We can also change here the
later. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's very similar. It's also around 1,000. The numbers. Wait, it's loading. Oh, the numbers are so close. Yeah, that's a very accurate cluster. That's so interesting because it allows us to see the similarities of ports.
That's the idea.
Only to Canadian ports or only to Mexican ports, and then we can say, okay, what are the similarities in Canadian ports between how similar they are in a number of passengers that go by over the seasons or based on volume. This is impressive.
That's the idea. I wanted to do it in that way.
Mike.
One thing to keep in mind is that the border with Canada and Alaska is different than the other borders. I would say it's just my own qualitative assessment. But
the border between Canada and which one?
Well, we call the Canada-U.S. border covers all the 48 states north and also the Canadian border with Alaska. And that border with Alaska is
here
more rural and sparse.
Yeah.
I should examine the dashboards to see if that assertion holds up. But
that's a good point. Interesting. Alex, this is such a good dashboard. Data app. I'd love to upload this to the examples pages that we have on Plotly.
I like it to do it also. I gonna try to figure it out.
Why do you think it broke on the cloud? What do you think?
Well, I don't know. I was looking at for instance, later, if you want to, the Plotly Studio, the one that I made. You can see what the AI of Plotly Studio did, and you see on a specific measure and make an error. I don't know if it's the way they are calculating the PCA. I don't know.
But Alex, the app that you deployed to the cloud, was that the Plotly Studio app or the Dash app?
This one. What I upload is the Plotly Studio. I put a prompt based on this one. I made a prompt, try to make one closer to this one, the most closer, and I just
Okay.
I
Well,
did
why
that.
don't this is what you made here is a Dash app. Can you upload this to the Plotly Cloud instead?
I did this one is that you try to enter to or to see, and unfortunately it's not loading.
Oh,
I don't know why. I use cache. I use a lot of things to try to, but I'm gonna do my effort, because I would like to to do it there, because it's interesting this way of this type of
okay.
analysis.
Let's talk after this session via direct
Okay,
messages and see how we can fix this.
okay, okay, okay.
All right. Mike.
Yeah.
Any question?
Okay. I don't have a
Going to.
question, Alex, but a comment that Adam's been saying, your dashboard is absolutely brilliant, and it is very, very insightful. There's
Thank
always the
you.
risk of making your dashboard too complex or your visualizations too abstract, but this, I think, hits it on the head. It's very good.
Thank you, thank you. That's the idea. That's the idea. The
Thank you.
idea is exactly use the unsupervised learning technique in order to I like a lot to look for hidden patterns and
Yeah.
also make another type of analysis.
Yeah, you're very good, Alex, at finding these hidden patterns using machine learning. That's not easy to do if you don't have machine learning skills.
Well, thank you. Well, I try to do it. I'm learning. I'm learning.
Yes, indeed. All right.
Well,
Mike,
basically, I don't know. There's the experience, and I used to work a lot with consumer insight long time ago. So I maybe
you
I
have
can
experience.
have something. Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
something. The question.
That's a very interesting space where in consumer marketing you have to make decisions based on data, right? You know,
Mm-hmm.
do you want to change the
Mm-hmm.
recipe of Coca-Cola, for example? Bad move,
Exactly.
but you know the
Exactly. No, see, that these are exactly as you say. It's basically very interesting because at the end of the day, it's for launching products. And normally we used to work with focus groups and also using quantitative analysis. And we used to make this type of analysis using these tools,
Okay.
using Excel and other Quamber and another techniques. But this one right now, Fred, no, it's like a, I don't know how to say it. It's very, I love I have fun doing this because for me it's like a candy store,
Yeah.
Try to.
Yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
that's a good reference back to the previous week.
The candy.
exactly.
All right, Mike. Thank you, Alex. Mike, do you have your app you want to share screen?
Yes, yes. Let me go ahead and share. And what I want to show you guys is actually two apps. So I'm going to take the entire screen. Okay, here we go. And let's see. Hold on a second.
Okay, you just got to try to make your the screen
Yeah.
as
Can you see okay reasonably?
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. Well, the reason I put these two apps up here is the left side is the app that I created.
Dash app.
Dash app. Yep, it's a Dash app deployed to the cloud. And the one on the right is from Plotly Studio. And
Okay.
I didn't do anything to customize it. You can see the header coloring isn't so good, but I've since learned how to fix all that stuff. So in fairness, this is just the first cut. But I analyzed the ports of each state separately. So I hover on, like, let's say Idaho, and you can see two ports in the northern part of Idaho. Oops, excuse me. And you can hover on them. You can see the pattern it's actually by month. And this one in the upper right is really independent of the others. It just gives you a comparison of traffic from Canada versus traffic from Mexico. COVID is very prominent on both of them. You can get it by state or top 10 ports, bottom 10 ports. So it's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty clean. And I really wanted to get this done early so that I could, port it to Plotly Cloud and then make a Plotly Studio app, which is on the right. This Plotly Studio app is really, really nice. And I've been playing around with ways to clean it up, but
did you give it a prompt of how you want it to be built, or you just said go ahead and build whatever you think is best?
I pretty much just go ahead and build what's best, and I just upload the Parquet file. I pre-cleaned it. One thing I did on this intentionally was I ignored the data as to whether people came by truck or car or walking. I just grouped them all together and focused on the numbers of people, whatever it is.
Okay.
It kind of saved time, but this is a nice heat map that I wouldn't have done on my own, but it's very, very good. You get so much features out of Plotly Studio, and it definitely inspires my ideas on how to create dashboards on my own. Because
what are we looking at in this line chart, Mike? Oh, it's Arizona?
What is this? Well, this is kind of weird. This is Arizona, but then it says, ports. Alexandria Bay is New York State. So these menus aren't really quite properly linked, but all that stuff is really easy to fix. I mean, if I were to take this Dash app and use it as my own, I just grab all the code and do whatever I want to it.
But Mike, how was your experience? Because I know you're fairly new to Plotly Studio. Were you able to go to the left sidebar and go into each module and tinker with it?
I didn't do it so much on this one, but that dashboard I did last night on the pizza prediction, I did a lot of that. So I got into that much more.
Did you do that by going into the code, or you just use natural language to change?
I use natural language. I realized that on every visualization, you can click on it in Plotly Studio and see just that visualization by itself, and then you can refine your instructions to improve it.
Okay.
But
nice.
I tell you what, I'm very, very impressed by Plotly Studio. In specs, I like what I did a little bit better, but let's talk about the math. The one on the left took me like 6 to 8 hours over the weekend. It took a lot of time. I enjoyed it, but time is time. You have to spend it, right?
Yeah.
The Plotly Studio app is, a matter of minutes. And let's say I was going to use this dashboard. I think I could customize this very nicely to do exactly what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Under an hour. So the math is undeniable. And the other aspect of it is this Plotly Studio gives you ideas that you hadn't really thought of yourself.
That's very true, Mike. The ideas that it gives you, but you know what you could do as an experiment, whether with this app or any other app you build in the future, like a Dash app. Try to at the beginning, before the outline is generated. You know how you can say skip right after you put the data set, or you can tell it what you want. It would be interesting to see if you knew exactly what you wanted to actually tell it to create these 4 graphs. So you say, hey, Plotly Studio, create these 4 graphs. Well, and you explain, let's say the graph in the bottom right. I want a line chart of the ports that were chosen by time. Years will be the x-axis, and the number in millions will be on the y-axis. And just explaining without any code what you see here, and see if it can replicate that for you instead of you spending all those hours in building it.
Yeah, I think I'll try something like that for next week. This was a pre-planned week for me to do it this way.
Okay.
Do it completely on my own and then see what Plotly Studio comes up. And I gave it the same filter data set, so there's no data in here that Plotly Studio could see on car, bus, pedestrian. But I think we'll do a very nice job, and I will try that the next time through this, Adam.
Adam, one question, Adam. about Plotly Studio, have you even tried? I know that basically you give a prompt to Plotly Studio, or maybe you don't make a prompt and Plotly Studio make the graph by itself. By default, always they show mainly 6 or 5 cars and also a dash table.
Yeah.
Is any way try to eliminate, substitute, modify this dash table or not? For default, always are going to
Is there any way
appear.
to modify the dash AG grid table or all the cards?
Well, that's for instance, instead of I having 6 cars, less cars, three, two
Yeah.
cars.
Yeah. So I think you might be able
There
to
is
do it in 2 different ways, Alex. After you upload
okay.
the data, you can say in the prompt, just create 3 graphs for me, right? 3 cards and 3 graphs. If you know the graphs you want, you can tell. If you don't, you can just say that and see if it follows your instructions. It should. If you forgot to say that, what you can do, you say skip. It creates, like you said, the 6 graphs, the 6 cards, usually 5 graphs and like 1 AG grid table. Then before you hit generate to build the app, you can trace the charts that it said it's going to create, and then it'll just build what you tell it to build.
The chart, okay, but the dash, I am trying to do. I have tried to eliminate the dash a graph, but without success. So let's see exactly what.
Oh, you can. I found, Alex, it's easy to get rid of any of these charts or the dash AG table in Poly Studio. If you hover on it, and I think it's just right click. You
The
get
dash.
Yeah, you'll get an option to just delete that visualization.
Right click.
Yeah, I think you can do that with a table as well. But you know what? I like the tables it builds. It comes with
a good summary.
Yeah, it's really good, and the filtering is really good. I mean, it took me a while to get used to how to use these tables and format them properly, but yeah, now I really love them.
Mike, I have one suggestion for you, and I have one suggestion for Alex that I forgot. Let me start with Alex, and then you, continue sharing the screen, Mike, and I'll share with you. Alex, I forgot to mention, when you showed us your app, you know how you hovered over a scatter marker, a port, that changed the graphs below. Remember, Alex? Love that feature. What could be cool is that it adds some interactivity there, like a callback, where after you hover over it, the point changes color or changes in size, because then I realized what I hovered over, right? Because you hovered over a scatter marker, and then I went to the graphs below, like, oh, this is an interesting graph. Oh, look at the time. But then I already forgot which point did I hover over. So if it's a different color or if it's bigger, then I know, okay, now I want to choose this one or that one.
Exactly. That's the exactly. That's in fact, I did in the other one. I forgot to mention that you can click on the map also, not only in the PCA chart, only in the map, also in the map, and you can update the
graph.
chart.
Okay, cool.
The graph.
The graph, yeah. Okay, Mike, and for you, the only thing I would change for Mike, because I love your app, I love the interactivity, is the layout. Given that you have 3 the 3 charts that are connected to each other, but one that's completely disconnected, like there's no interactivity between the charts, I would put, this is one way, you could do it in different ways. I'll put on the left side, taking up like 2 rows, I'll put the map, and then next to it, on to the right, I'll put one of the graphs, and then the other graphs right under it, but they're all like in the same height, right, as the map.
Yeah.
And underneath all of those, like in the 3rd row, just put the graph in the top right along the whole, horizontally along the whole page, so that will be like different.
Agree.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Exactly.
And one thing I also noticed, Adam, just my thought, I'm using these legends,
Yeah.
for additional
Really cool.
interactivity. And those could be replaced by pull-down menus, but I think it's good to just keep it the way it is.
Yeah, I think so, because you can always double click on a legend and only see that one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's really cool. I like it. What you build, Mike. Really cool.
This is what brought me to Plotly in the first place. Is mainly this legend feature and just this interactivity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, right. Okay, Mike, Alex, thank you so much for showing us your creations. I'm going to remove your screen, Mike. There we go. Next up, we have thank you everybody for joining us, and I think we have almost 100 people that are viewing this session. So that's pretty cool to see 100 people that are interested in the Figure Friday apps that people create.
Cool.
The next Figure Friday I will be published in about half an hour, maybe an hour. It's going to be a New York City data set. Alex, I think you would like this one because you like with clustering. This will be interesting because it talks about the school system in New York City, specifically divided by the columns. I think are borough, Manhattan, Bronx, Brooklyn. The class size, how many students are in each class, from kindergarten, I think, all the way to 11th grade or 12th grade. And there's subject matter, and there's another category, another two categories, if it's a special ed or if it's not special, a regular school. I don't exactly remember. So very interesting to be able to like group these things and see how the class sizes, the number of students and the number of classes change based on all the other categories in the Excel sheet. So I'll post that soon. We can build a Dash app out of it, or we can build directly a Plotly Studio. Either way, upload it to the cloud, and then we can share with others. I think that's it. Next week, oh no, it's 2 weeks from now, we have the Hangout that I'm going to publish today. It's going to be with Martin from the Czech Republic. He's going to talk to us about Plotly and Dash, how he uses that open source inside his bank, which is one of the biggest banks in the Czech Republic. And if I'm not mistaken, don't forget we have our community meetup like every month, the last Thursday of the month. So it's going to be on the 28th from 1 to 2 p.m. If you want to be invited, just let me know, send me a message, and I will put you on the calendar send you a calendar invite for the meetup. Next week, New York City meetup on the 20th. And like always on next Friday, we have our next Figure Friday session, week 33. Alex, Mike, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a nice weekend.
See you next week.
Bye, Mike.
Bye-bye.